Suzy Wrong. Joy Drive with Dee and Warren's film, TV and theatre reviewer.
Suzy Wrong, this is the first time that you've given us some homework to watch that has, as far as I'm concerned, that I've ever heard Dee say I'm attracted to one of the male characters.
Massively.
We need to find out more about that because that's a bit weird.
Isn't it?
I just find Ewan McGregor hot stuff.
Yeah. Why is that? I don't see it.
I think a lot of lesbians do, and I don't know what it is. Anyway.
Well, the text will come in saying, no, I don't.
Well, I'm very happy to be joining you on this fashion-themed edition of Joy Drive.
Yes, from Fiona Scott Norman to Suzy Wrong on fashion.
We are very fashionable today. Dee's got a nice cream knitted jumper on. It looks very lovely, and I'm in my my chinos instead of shorts for a change. So very.
I'm in Zimmerman, so.
Well, I bet you win. So tell us about the film, the mini series, as I like to call it, that we watched this week.
Which is HALSTON.
HALSTON is the latest Ryan Murphy drama on Netflix, a 5-part extravaganza about the American fashion legend, charting his meteoric rise in the 1970s and his deeply unfortunate downfall in the following decade. The series is a dazzling affair, very satisfying, with lots of pretty images and exquisite costuming to transport the viewer to somewhere so devastatingly fabulous it feels completely mythical. The charming Ewan McGregor plays HALSTON, making him much more likable than the man actually was, but it is arguable if he's the best actor for the job. I'm glad to report, however, that this is one of the better Ryan Murphy productions, and HALSTON does not lose steam halfway through. I found myself enjoying every minute of it. Dee, you saw it all in a weekend, didn't you?
I did. You've outed me as an absolute binger, which is not something I often do. And I watched it on a small screen, which is not the best way to watch, to consume, because I didn't have a telly at the time. But I absolutely loved it. I love all of it, but I'm very into the styling of the period, and I think that, well, obviously I love it, Ewan McGregor. I've read reviews now. I didn't read anything about it before I watched it. I did not know of the fashion designer HALSTON a lot. Like, I knew the name HALSTON, obviously, but I didn't realise this was his story. So that was good. It's not just like watching a fashion biopic and knowing everything there is to know, Versace. But so that was interesting because I learnt something. But I just think it looks beautiful. I thought the story was engaging. I thought the acting was sublime. And, yeah, I found it really easy to binge in a weekend. What did you think?
I really liked Hugh McGregor in it. I thought he was great. Ewan McGregor, sorry, I said Hugh. I thought he was really good in it, and I got... I didn't like him as a character, and I think that's what they wanted. I thought, gee, he's got such a narcissistic ego, and the way he treated his staff was appalling. So I liked that side of it. One of the things I didn't like about it, though, Dee and Suzy, was I felt like we didn't necessarily... There was a lot of stories behind HALSTON himself. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we just got a couple of flashbacks to his childhood, and we didn't really explore them. Like, there was one where he was just sitting in a car and he was having a flashback to his childhood, but we didn't go in depth. I didn't get a connection to him at all and what was going on in his mind and why he was the way he was, and I reckon it fell short of creating that sort of emotional connection. For me anyway, that's something that I didn't like.
I decided that they cast Ewan McGregor in the role because he's so likable, just to balance out the monster that HALSTON was. Because I'd seen a couple of the documentaries, and even though I love everything to do with fashion, and fashion documentaries are my drug, and you would definitely watch it and feel no sympathy for him at all. He was like, he made such bad choices, and he was obnoxious all the time. So I could understand that Ewan McGregor was used because he's just irresistible. I'm not about to jump into bed with him, but
no. You'll have to wait your turn. Is the other thing. Let's not get personal on this one, Suzy. I know you're wearing Zimmerman.
But he's very likable, isn't he?
He's likable.
Such a sweet man.
But there's a lot of stuff that they alluded to that was the reason he was the way he was, but they didn't unpack it. They didn't go into it. And I think it was, to me, the story, there was, like, the first few episodes, I was a bit bored, to be honest. And I'll admit fashion things aren't my thing, but I was bored because I felt like, they're going on this whole creativity versus business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As though you can't be creative and you can't have those business skills, and you need people to come into a apply the business skills. And I thought, well, that's not the case necessarily. But I don't know. To me,
I feel like they were cagey about the childhood stuff because it was all fake.
They missed the point there
I
for
thought
me.
that the young Halston scenes were great, and it showed that relationship between, with the domestic violence in his upbringing and his relationship to his mother, and why he was so driven in the fashion world was because he wanted to make her happy, and that he transplanted that onto all the women in his life, including Liza. Like, there's so much in there about mother, and I find, with gay men that might be a thing, but certainly he wanted to make the world beautiful, to make his mother happy, and to mask over all the pain. That was my take on that. And I think the young Halston, the actor, was beautiful also.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do with the show, to kind of use that childhood trauma to sort of make you come to an understanding of why he acts the way that he does. But as Warren had pointed out, it was so brief. It almost felt like it was a lie to me. It felt like they had to make you like the guy, so they threw in this sort of background stuff that probably isn't true.
We're speaking with Suzy Wrong about the 5-part series HALSTON, which is currently screening on Netflix. Suzy, let's get to the bit that we all know is coming. Well, I believe is coming. Ewan McGregor has played openly gay characters in a number of popular and successful films. He presents as an heterosexual man in the world. I know your beliefs, your views on straight men playing gay roles. How did you feel this played out?
I feel like he does a lot of that thing that James Corden did in that Prom movie. I mean, we know, like, I've seen Halston be very camp. I understand that he has to present that sort of that appearance that Halston is famous for. But I felt that those were very jarring. And I have this big list here I've written down: Matt Bomer, Neil Patrick Harris, Jim Parsons, Zachary Quinto, Cheyenne Jackson, Wentworth Miller, Sean Hayes. All these like amazing white gay men who have been paying their dues for years, and they were not given this opportunity to be an A-lister.
He's good in it, though, isn't he?
But then, conversely, do you think that, like gay people should be therefore excluded from straight roles because there wouldn't be many roles?
No, it's not the same. It's not an equivalence. Like LGBT people are a minority and they are the majority. So they've taken big portions of the cake, and they've taken big portions of the economy for all this time. So it's not a two-way traffic that works the same way.
Since I met Suzy Wrong, I can't watch a film without thinking about the sexuality of the actor. So you've verily ruined it for me, Suzy, because every time I'm like, oh no. When I was watching it, I was like, this is going to make Suzy so angry.
you know who I did like in it? Is it Krista Rodriguez, that played Liza Minnelli?
She plays a great Liza, because that's a hard character.
She did that really, really well. It was worth watching just for that performance.
Yeah. And that was really, everybody over Liza's the Liza part, I think, when they take her off and they get, oh, Liza. But this was, I thought, quite a multi-dimensional Liza Minnelli.
The highlight of the whole 5 hours was Vera Farmiga, who plays this perfume expert, sniffing the used jockstrap.
What a great job. How amazing was that, though? She could just formulate this whole perfume based on...
I want to get mine done.
Halston's past. Yeah. And I thought, I would love someone to come in and create a perfume for me that was based on my past.
We'll bring into jockstrap.
I hate to think of some of the things that they'd be sniffing. Suzy, what would you like us to watch for homework for next week?
Next week, it's a series called Special, also on Netflix. It's back with its second season. It's a great opportunity for everyone to catch up with Ryan, a gay man living with cerebral palsy.
Great. Well, you know that we're taking a few weeks off, Suzy. I know this is news to you because you just text me with WTF. So, but you'll be speaking with the lovely Triana Butler and Andy Mack.
Oh my God. What a relief.
You're awful. Hey, when do you want to see us?
Not next Tuesday.
Well, I won't see you next Tuesday. I'll see everyone else next Tuesday.
See you, mate.
See you, Suzy.
Thanks, Suzy. That's Suzy Wrong.